What's good? Welcome back. Thank you for joining me. Today we are going to continue working with the Elton John beat. Sampled some Brother Raleigh, made a nice little boom bap beat. We wrote some words. We recorded those words. Now today we're gonna mix those words and try to master the track to quote unquote finish it. Now, let me be the first to admit that I don't really know what mastering means. I'm just going to do you know what, we'll get into it. We're going to use all free plugins for two reasons. A, I'm poor and I only have free plugins or stock Fruity Loop Studio plugins. And B, because cost shouldn't gatekeep you from creating if you want to create. So if you want to create some lo-fi music like me, you can do it. You can do it for relatively cheap. That's not to say that we won't use premium plugins in the future, but for these purposes, for this sampling series, these 4 videos, it's all free plugins or stock Fruity Loop plugins. The goal for this video is to put a decent mix on the vocals and the beat, and then master it as best as we can do. I am merely an enthusiast, so I accept that my understanding of mastering is not the actual technical what mastering probably really is. I do have some understanding of how to affect the track as a whole versus how to mix. That doesn't mean I'm qualified to master this track or even mix it. I'm just doing my best here, and the goal is to get a little bit better by listening to others who I know what they're talking about, but also like just iterating and doing. The more you do, the more you're gonna get better. The more you're gonna just naturally hear the differences and the nuances in the music that you're trying to manipulate. Like, this takes years, decades even, to get really good at. So please expect it to not be great. And if you know more than me, please share in the comments as to what I'm doing wrong or what I could try differently, because I'd like to learn. I'm here to learn. After we get the mix done, we will give it an overall listen, and maybe if I could figure it out, we will make it a free download or something like that. We have a to-do list. So the first thing to do is to clean up the clips, line them up, and listen for egregious breaths or spikes in volume. We'll line up the clips then to make sure that the words line up perfectly with the words under. Then we will mix by doing a subtractive EQ that removes annoying frequencies that might be created by my cheap ass microphone or by my nasally voice or by the drone of the fan behind me or whatever it might be. And then after the EQs, we're going to do multi-stage compression. We're going to do 2 layers of compression of the waveform, and then after that we'll probably do a lightweight reverb, at least on the emphasis lines or the overs. And then after that we will try to tuck it into the mix and mix the drums and everything else around it, and then we will put a master on the track to hopefully glue the track together. They call it mix glue. Bring the track together, tighten it up a little bit. So that's the goals. We'll see how I actually did in making this sound listenable. Again, it's probably not going to be pro quality, dog. We're making lo-fi music here, and I understand that. Let's get started on it. We're going to begin clip editing now. We're going to just listen through the verse and make sure that all of our background vocals line up well with our main vocal. And I have went ahead and boosted the background vocals so that I can hear them clearly. I will have to remix them back down into the mix once I'm done here. Let's start with the beginning of the verse.
My name's listed in the lexicon. My name's listed in the lexicon.
And we're just going to try to line these up visually, but also then take a listen.
My name's listed in the lexicon, but this
doesn't really have to be perfect, but we're doing our best to get it as close to there as we can.
lexicon, but this the type of next I'm on.
And here we can go ahead and we can shorten this if we want. Probably not necessary. Probably not going to go to that granular, that finite of a mix here, but we're going to do our best to make it sound pretty good in any case.
Crowing, yeah. Wake up, boy, now go and get your own in here. Say go and get your own.
Cool. So we got all of the clips edited. We got them lined up correctly. We got it sounding good. Slight edits on volume here and there where necessary. Didn't worry about removing breaths because nothing popped out at me, so I didn't feel like it was necessary. Now we're gonna switch over to mixing. Here's the mixing board in Fruity Loops. These channels that I'm highlighting correspond to the channels that I created when we recorded. Each one of these, if you look over here to the right of the mixer, has a vocal chain. We've got all of these plugins are either stock Fruity Loop plugins or they're free downloads, okay? First off, we're gonna use the Parametric EQ2 from Fruity Loops. Not the best EQ out there, but it's definitely functional. Then we're gonna use M compressors, M compressor, M audios, M compressor, I'm not sure. It's M compressor, it's great. Google it, you'll find it. It's not great, it's good, it's fine. Then we have Valhalla's Supermassive, which is a reverb and delay plugin. It's very good for being free, I love it. And then we have Fruity Limiter. I've got the volumes pretty much where I want them for now. I need to turn that down though and turn my headphones on, huh? Otherwise, what's the point in putting headphones on? I want to isolate just the main vocal. I'm not going to isolate it from the beat. I want to hear this as it sounds with the beat, but I'm going to try to isolate annoying frequencies from my voice. First, let's set this as a high pass and this as a low pass. Everything's gonna sound crappy up there.
My name's missing in the lexicon, but this the type
But
of
is it
next
annoying
I'm on.
right around here? I'd like to remove that, I think. So I'm gonna listen for it.
Missing in the lexicon, but this the type of next I'm on. The plot, we all just want to feel alive and try to hit the pleasure spot. Feel lighter than a feather knot from shedding all the lead I drop.
And to me, that just removes a lot of that nasally tone that I have to my voice out. And I'm removing a significant amount. 4.8 dBs is what it says. So let's see.
My name's missing in the lexicon, but this the type of next I'm on. Middle-aged debutante, ample to sample Elton John. Damn, daddy, you still penning them old forget-me-nots. Best believe it, see it as the key to these mental locks. It ain't about the best or not. Let it be your quest for art, a reminder of how blessed we are. Even if we stress a lot, most of us are getting by, but long ago we missed the plot. We all just want to feel alive and try to hit the pleasure spot. Feel lighter than a feather knot from shedding. Middle-aged debutante, ample to sample Elton John. Damn, daddy, you still pinning them old forget-me-nots. Best believe it, see it as the key to these mental locks.
Now with the additive EQ, I'm not going to add a lot. I'm just adding like half dBs, a dB. I'm adding a broader range. When I'm subtracting, I'm slicing small frequencies out. When I'm adding a broader range. So I'm going to do it much more subtly. I don't want to add too much, or it's going to end up harsh in places or have that wah, wah, wah.
My name's missing in the lexicon, but this the type of next I'm on. Middle-aged debutante, ample to...
Now let's just take a look and see what it sounds like between the two. This is the part where I struggle because sometimes I think it sounds worse, and so I go back and redo it all. Let's see. With.
My name's missing in the lexicon, but this the type of next I'm on. Middle-aged debutante, ample to sample Elton John.
Without.
See it as the key to these mental locks. It ain't about the best or not. Let it be your quest for art or getting
With.
by. But long ago we missed the plot. We all just want to feel alive and try to hit the pleasure spot.
All right, and I think we're in an okay place there. Like I said, I'm not an expert, so I don't really... The idea is that I'm going to get better overdoing it more and more. I'm going to find what sounds good easier, quicker, faster, and things are going to become more apparent to me as I move along. So wasting a ton of time trying to perfect one song, move on. Make 100 songs, and by the 100th song, maybe you'll have a perfect song. Probably not, probably 1,000 songs, so just keep working. I didn't hear it at first, but now that I'm listening to the background vocals, all of these clips that I've stretched are wrong, and they all need to be made to stretch, not to resample. So all of them are going to sound terrible. So I need to move them all to stretch. I should have done this with the main clip, and then I wouldn't have to do this, but since I didn't, I do have to go through and stretch all of these. So I've copied and pasted over the EQ for the background vocals.
On the bread I got, and then came clarity, like seeing color for the first time. Instead of worrying about time lost, I made some words rhyme. Then I made a home for them. So when I feel hurt inside, I return to where I've proven I can recover from the worst times.
That's not bad. We're gonna move on to do some compression. And again, I'm gonna get rid of the background vocals so I can just hear my main vocals along with the beat.
My name's missing in the lexicon, but this the type of next I'm on. Middle-aged debutante, ample to sample Elton.
Okay, so with the first compressor, what I've done is I've boosted the input and output a little bit, increased the attack and the release a little bit, so that it's getting all, I feel like it's getting more of the vocal that way. I just want to clip the top. That's why my ratio is so high. I want to take the top off of it, and then once the top is brought down a little bit, then I can boost everything else with the next compressor a little bit better. The threshold, I want to set it to where I'm only affecting a few decibels. It's more than like 6 decibels. It's going to start sounding computerized and weird. I just, again, want to take the top and I want to compress it down. Hopefully these settings here are going to help me achieve that. Now when I move to the next compressor, I'm going to be a little bit more aggressive with how much I'm going to allow it to compress. So it's going to be able to compress more, but it's going to be more dynamic. My ratio is going to be less. Now remembering what I said about I don't want it to clip more than 6. So I'm going to turn it down just a little bit to 18, negative 18 decibels to hopefully give it only affecting 6 decibels of sound. I don't know how to explain that. Let's see what it sounds like with and without.
Ample to sample Elton John. Damn daddy, you still pinning them old forget-me-nots. Best believe it, see it as the key to these mental locks. It ain't about the best or not, let it be your quest for art.
That's kind of the goal of compression, is allowing me to make the quieter parts louder while not making the louder parts much louder and hitting the peak of, you know, the range limit to where it starts distorting.
My name's missing in the lexicon, but this the type of next I'm on. Middle-aged debutante, ample to sample Elton John. Damn daddy, you still pinning.
Alright, so that's pretty good. Basic EQ, basic compression on all of the vocals. I'm pretty happy with the sound that we've got for the vocals so far. What I've done is I have added a vocal bus, and I think you should add a vocal bus to your vocals, if nothing else, just to control the volume as one unit versus having to adjust all of the volumes individually. I've also in the background been doing a mix on some of these instruments here. I've got all of the levels changed, as you can tell. I've got compressors put on the kick, and I've got a mastering compressor put on the bass line. Mastering compressor put on the drums as well, so that I can tune in the drums and make them sound a little bit better. 808 I think probably just needs to get turned down in the long run, but I can't really hear that mix here, so I'll have to play that out over the studio monitors. I'm going to continue to work on this and fine-tune this here and there and just try to do the best I can by ear, but what I need to do is get out of the headphones and into the open space, so that's what we're going to do next.
Type of next I'm on. Middle-aged debutante, ample to sample Elton John. Damn daddy, you still pinning them old forget-me-nots. Best believe it, see it as the key to these mental locks. It ain't about the best or not, let it be your quest for art. A reminder of how blessed we are, even if we stress a lot. Most of us are getting by.
Alright, and then eventually you get something you like. Now it's time to move on to mastering. If I have any problem with the mix now, this is the last chance to deal with it, because mastering affects the entire mix. So if you're in your middle of your master and you're finding yourself going back to your mix, you need to spend more time with your mix. Hopefully, we don't have to do that, and we can just go ahead and get some mastering stuff done. Now, again, the mastering plugins that I'm using are free or stock Fruity Loop plugins. I really just want to make sure the volume's good and that there's some glue in the mix.
Listen in the lexicon, but this the type of next I'm on. Middle-aged debutante, ample to sample Elton John. Damn daddy, you still pinning them old forget-me-nots. Best believe it, see it as the key to these mental locks.
Okay, well now let's see what it sounds like before the mastering. It's obviously going to be a lot louder after the mastering, but let's just see if we can see what it sounds like here.
Forgive me not, best believe it, see it as the key to these mental locks. It ain't about the best or not, let it be your quest for art.
Now with mastering,
it's the plot. We all just want to feel alive and try to hit the pleasure spot. Feel lighter than a feather knot from shedding all the lead I drop. I'm a Jedi with.
So not only does it sound a lot louder, but I feel like I can hear a lot of the different elements in the middle of the beat better, like the cymbals and the hi-hats and things like that. Now obviously it gets a lot louder with the mastering because I'm bringing it up to the industry standard levels-ish. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bounce a track without mastering effects and bounce one with mastering effects, and then I'm going to volume match them so that you can hear the difference and so that I can hear the difference in the beats and see if I'm actually enhancing anything or if I'm just making the middle of it harder to hear. To me it sounds easier to hear and louder, but easier to hear. We'll see if that's just me with wishful hearing or if that's like actually what's happening. Okay, and I've set up a session where it's just the two tracks bounced. One's mastered, one's unmastered. And I've got them volume matched so that we can hear pretty accurately the differences in the beats, if any. Let's turn not mastered on and listen to it first. Mastered. Not mastered. 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 So I think, to my ear, it sounds like the mastered is closer together in volume. So it brings out the quieter parts. And in this particular instrumental, the quieter parts are the hi-hats and little bits of auxiliary percussion. It really pops better now with the mastered version. From what I can gather, the idea of mastering is just those subtle tweaks, but they do make a difference in the long run of it.
Daddy, you still pinning them old forget-me-nots. Best believe it, see it as the key to these mental locks. It ain't about the best or not, let it be your.
It just sounds overall anemic.
We are, even if we stress a lot. Most of us are getting by, but long ago we missed the plot. We all just want to feel alive and try to hit the pleasure spot.
I just think the whole mid-range feels better and more alive with the mastered version. So I would call that a successful master treatment, although it's not probably what the industry would consider mastering it. If you're an audio engineer and you've made it this far, I don't know how, because this is let me know what I'm doing wrong though, or let me know about my basic concept of what I'm doing correct. I'm trying to get better at this and I don't think I can do it on my own. So if you're out there and you know more, let me know more, please. With that said, let's give it the final listen. I'm ready.
My name's missing in the lexicon, but this the type of next I'm on. Middle-aged debutante, ample to sample Elton John. Damn daddy, you still pinning them old forget-me-nots. Best believe it, see it as the key to these mental locks. It ain't about the best or not, let it be your quest for art. A reminder of how blessed we are, even if we stress a lot. Most of us are getting by, but long ago we missed the plot. We all just want to feel alive and try to hit the pleasure spot. Feel lighter than a feather knot from shedding all the lead I drop. I'm a Jedi with my left eye cocked, scribble an ancient meta thought, exhumed on my skeletons with each and every dread I locked. Eventually learned to measure my own worth beyond the bread I got.
Yeah, pretty happy with the way that turned out. If you're still here listening to this video or watching it, thank you so much for your support. I really do appreciate it. I doubt I ever monetize this. It's truly just a hobby and a love for hip hop music. If you want to support me further, you could go and check out my music on various streaming sites or check out some of the songs that I've put on this very YouTube channel right here. Hope everybody has a great day. Peace be with you.